Author Maria Cristina Mena once wrote, "The piano keys are black and white, but they sound like a million colors in your mind." Enhancing those colors is a Milwaukee man who's been tuning, repairing, and rebuilding pianos since 1974. Frank Healy puts Timothy Dixon in our Sunday morning spotlight.
I'd say the piano, more than any other piece of furniture, is just like, grabs them right here.
For nearly half a century, Timothy Dixon, the sole proprietor of Great Lakes Piano Supply in Milwaukee's Sherman Park neighborhood, has worked as a piano craftsman.
That picture, that's my first piano rebuilding, and it was done on an apartment on Milwaukee Street on the second floor. So it was not easy getting that up and down.
Now, most of the work happens in his specialized workshop in his basement, where he cut out the stairs to fit grand pianos in.
When I first moved in here, I couldn't get the pianos through this space here. So in the middle of the night, I thought up this idea here where I get more room. So
it all started for him when he was a student at the Wisconsin Conservatory of Music.
I just wasn't good enough to be a concert pianist.
But Dixon's father, a lifelong tinkerer himself, inspired him to stay with pianos.
But when I think back to him, that was like the core of it, and the core of him. I kind of put the two together. I wanted to stay in the music world, and I liked pianos, so I thought, maybe I should work on them. I really wanted to shape the sound of the piano.
Dixon has tuned tens of thousands of pianos.
Two main parts of it. One is, tuning and repairs, and that's what most people do. They do tuning and maybe minor repairs, and then they might do piano action rebuilding, just the keyboard and action stack. But then there's the other level is rebuilding the entire piano.
He's only fully restored a few dozen grand pianos like this one.
And that requires space and it requires tools. They probably average around 500 hours or so. More if I'm replacing a soundboard.
It's an expensive process, but usually much cheaper than a new grand piano. But for a piano someone remembers their mother or grandmother playing.
Well, sometimes people will want to rebuild a piano. The cost is more than the piano is worth, and so I try to discourage it, but sometimes that's they want it done because this has been in the family.
Dixon's attention to detail can have wondrous results for those people.
It's the potential of actually being better than new.
It's hard to estimate how many people have heard his work without even knowing it.
It feels good. It feels really good. Yeah. I mean, I guess that's the legacy, huh?
Right now, he's working on this Bussendorfer, an instrument made in Vienna, Austria in the year 1954.
This is my piano, and so this is kind of maybe my swan song.
Because he's retiring. He says while the baby boomer generation stepped in to repair these pianos from the early 20th century with the rise of electronic and hybrid pianos,
I don't know what the future of the piano rebuilding is at all.
For his Bussendorfer,
well, I'm just doing the whole 9 yards on this thing. Oh, this is probably 400 or 500 pounds.
Refinishing the plate and crafting a fresh soundboard.
I made this from scratch. Here is all the lumber it came from. Those are like girders for the panel. So I made all of those.
The part that turns a quiet vibration into this.
Into the string, comes over the bridge, and vibrates.
He'll once again have this moment he's given countless customers.
Plenty of customers come in and see their newly refurbished piano, new rebuilt piano, and I always have Ellen come down and play it for them. And there's been a lot of tears. A lot of tears come out when they hear that piano.
Timothy met his wife, Ellen Dixon, at the Wisconsin Conservatory.
And she was a way better pianist than I was. So.
Her, a concert pianist, and him, the craftsman.
I'm not a religious person at all, but I mean, that's hearing Ellen play that piano is the closest that I get to a spiritual experience.
Crafting emotions described by a customer to him in a poem.
I think of teachers who passed the torch, of composers who empowered emotions, but most of all to those with the selfless effort gave voice through the gift of instruments. Dedicated to Tim, Linda, and Mike, who with consummate skills have renewed the beauty in both sight and sound of my Mason and Hamlin Model A grand piano. It is again a truly grand piano.